Hey guys, Respect here again. Now, you're watching my ghetto buddy, Jammin' Music Man. You want to subscribe? You sure do not want to miss his great videos.
What's up guys, it's me Jammin' Music Man and welcome to my special new video. And in this video I'm going to show you guys what WWE DVDs I picked up so far this year. And I'm probably going to end up calling this video my WWE 2016 mid-year update video, something like that. But I pretty much got every single one they've put out except Battleground and the one they put out this week about the hardcore title. But sooner or later I'll pick up those DVDs. But I pretty much have got everything this past year, and I'm going to tell you guys which ones were my favorites. So enough of the chit chat, let's get on with the video. Alright you guys, this very first DVD I'm going to show you guys, this was one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. And that pay-per-view I'm talking about is the 2016 Royal Rumble. And this was one of the best Royal Rumbles, I gotta say, in recent years. Of course, if you guys can't remember, Vince McMahon put up the stipulation that Roman Reigns had to defend his WWE title in the Royal Rumble. Never been done before, but of course Vince's son-in-law, Triple H, ends up winning the Royal Rumble and the belt. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the DVD cover, gives away. But all in all, it was a good Royal Rumble. But another reason why I'll always remember this Royal Rumble, it was because of the debut of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And maybe you guys might remember, you know, those weeks leading up to the Royal Rumble, the internet was running wild. I hear AJ Styles is going to the WWE. I hear he's going to show up at the Royal Rumble. Well, he did, and I believe he showed up at, he was number 3 in the Royal Rumble. But all in all, it was a good one. And another match that stands out for me is the Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens last man standing match for the Intercontinental title. That was a great match. But I got to say, if you don't have this in your collection, you got to have it. That's the 2016. Alright you guys, this next DVD is Fastlane 2016. This was a somewhat okay pay-per-view. There's only really like 2 good matches that stand out for me at this. Of course, the main event, it's Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, triple threat match. The winner of the match gets a shot at Triple H at WrestleMania for the championship. Of course, Roman Reigns wins. Who didn't see that coming? But the main event match, you know, it was somewhat decent. But I gotta say, my favorite match at Fastlane was AJ Styles against Y2J, Chris Jericho. Of course, AJ Styles ended up getting the win. But all in all, Fastlane 2016, for me, it was okay. Only really 2 good matches, but hey, I mean, if you're a collector, you gotta have it in your collection. Alright, you guys, this next DVD, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite shows of the year. The granddaddy of them all, of course. I'm talking about WrestleMania 32. The main event, Roman Reigns against Triple H for the WWE Championship belt. You get Shane McMahon taking on The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. And you also get a triple threat match for the WWE Women's belt. Charlotte taking on Becky Lynch, taking on Sasha Banks. The main event, I mean, who didn't see it coming, and who didn't know Roman Reigns was going to win? I mean, you could saw that mile away. Stevie Wonder could have saw that coming. That's right, Stevie Wonder could have saw Roman Reigns winning at WrestleMania. But the main event, it was alright. But for me, the match that stole the night, Shane McMahon, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Shane McMahon trying to do his best Mick Foley, jumping off that Hell in a Cell cage and just landing in the broadcast table booth. He ends up losing, of course, and they end up carrying him out on a stretcher. And of course, he gives that Evel Knievel thumbs up like, I did a good job, you guys. You guys got your money's worth. And it was a great Hell in a Cell match. But The Triple Threat women's match, one of the best women matches, I gotta say, all time. I really enjoyed the Triple Threat women's match. Of course, Charlotte ends up winning, but you know, I love me some Becky Lynch, and I didn't find out until around this time. I didn't know. I had no idea that Sasha Banks was cousins or niece. I can't remember right now, but she's related to Snoop Dogg. So hey, I mean, that's pretty cool. But anyway, you definitely, if you're a WWE fan or a wrestling fan, you definitely got to have WrestleMania 32 in your collection. Alright, you guys, this next DVD, the main event for this pay-per-view, pretty great match, and it's Payback 2016. You get AJ Styles taking on Roman Reigns for the WWE title. Great match, I gotta say. One of the best matches of the year, but also some of the other matches, you know, I really can't remember all the matches from this pay-per-view, but what really sticks out to me, this was the pay-per-view when Enzo Amore had that really bad concussion. They had to, you know, stop the match. I believe it was like the opening match. Yeah, that's right. It was the opening match at Payback, and Enzo had that really bad concussion, and they carried him out on that stretcher. But, you know, luckily he was okay. But all in all, some of the other matches, you know, somewhat decent. But what really sticks out is the main event between Reigns and AJ Styles. But, you know, if you want to have this in your collection, I highly recommend picking it up. That's WWE Payback 2016. Alright, you guys, this next DVD, of course, the main event for this match, one of my favorites of the year. But the DVD I'm talking about, it's Extreme Rules 2016. You get Roman Reigns taking on AJ Styles. I believe they were in an Extreme Rules match, and this went to the crowds. You know, it definitely, I gotta say, it was a classic match right here. One of the best of the year. But of course, Roman ends up winning. But who makes an appearance, his return? Seth Rollins. But all in all, I gotta say, Extreme Rules was one of the best pay-per-views of the year. I gotta say, I like Extreme Rules a whole lot better than Payback. And another match that stands out for me is Dean Ambrose taking on Chris Jericho in the Ambrose Asylum match. And Jericho had all those thumbtacks stuck in him. Classic stuff right there. But I gotta say, you gotta have this in your collection, and one of the best of 2016. That's Extreme. Alright, you guys, this next DVD right here, one of my favorite DVDs of the year, and that's Eric Bischoff, Sports Entertainment's Most Controversial Figure. It's a 3-disc set. You get a great documentary. I love when WWE puts out really good documentaries of, you know, your favorite wrestlers or wrestling companies. But, you know, I didn't know that Eric Bischoff, basically he spent his early years, once he graduated from high school, he was in construction, and I believe he tried selling meat door to door. I mean, who does that now? And you know, he was into modeling, and him and Sonny Ono, some of you guys might remember Sonny Ono from WCW. Back in the 80s, Eric and Sonny, they tried to come out with this toy craze where you would throw like Chinese stars and you had like a Velcro pad on. They were pretty much trying to, you know, cash in on the popularity of a laser tag at that time. But basically in the documentary, you get how Eric Bischoff got to AWA Wrestling, and then he later jumped to WCW. And he was pretty much, when he first came to WCW, he was like at the bottom of the totem pole as far as like the running of the company. And, you know, pretty much by the mid-90s, he was running things at WCW. And of course they go into the whole Monday Night Wars and the reason why he left WCW for a while, and of course, you know, the rise and fall of WCW. But it's a 3-disc set, like I said, and the matches, you get like interviews and matches, but the matches, or one match that sticks out to me is when Eric Bischoff challenged Vince McMahon to a match at Slamboree 98. Of course, Vince didn't show up, but when that was going on, I remember watching, and that was really controversial at the time. But basically, that was Eric's response to when DX surprisingly showed up outside at a Monday Nitro event back in, I believe, '98. But all in all, one of my favorite DVDs from the WWE this year, and you got to have it in your collection. It's Eric Bischoff, sports entertainment's most controversial figure. Why? Because controversy creates cash. Here comes the money, 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 dollar, dollar bill, y'all, booyah right there, the 2016 Money in the Bank DVD. Yeah, that's right, that's what I'm talking about, shawty. Yeah, but guys, this pay-per-view right here, it was a somewhat decent pay-per-view if you ask me. I mean, the match that stands out to me, of course, is the ladder match, which Dean Ambrose ends up winning, but the main event, it's Seth Rollins taking on Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. And of course, Seth Rollins gets the win, but what happens? What happens? Oh, you don't know? Dean Ambrose comes in, cashes in his Money in the Bank, and bam, he is the WWE Champion. Who didn't see that coming? But guys, those are really only the two good matches that stand out to me for Money in the Bank. But it's worth the buy, and if you're a hardcore collector, definitely have it in your collection. That's the 2016 Money in the Bank. Alright, you guys, this next DVD right here, one of my favorites of 2016, and that's U.S. Championship, A Legacy of Greatness. One of my favorites. It's a 3-disc set, and it's hosted by JBL, and basically you get the story of the United States Championship. It started in NWA Wrestling in 1975. Harley Race was the first U.S. champion, but it wasn't recorded on film. But one of the earliest U.S. Championship matches you get on here, you get Nature Boy Ric Flair taking on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with Andre the Giant as the special guest referee. There's no commentary, it's just film footage, but great match. Also, you get to see Lex Luger in action when he was the U.S. champion, and it pretty much goes from the 80s and the 90s up until like the 2000s, and now you get John Cena. I believe he beat Big Show to become the U.S. champion. I believe it was WrestleMania 20, but all in all, really enjoyed this disc set, and definitely you gotta have it in your collection. That's the U.S. Championship, A Legacy of Greatness. Alright, you guys, this next DVD, one of my favorites of the year without a doubt, and that's Living on a Razor's Edge, the Scott Hall story. It's a 3-disc set. The first disc, you get a great documentary. Basically, you get the story of Scott Hall's early days to his years starting out in the wrestling business, and to his downfall with his battles with alcohol. And you find out early on in the documentary that Scott Hall was involved in basically this guy was going to shoot him. He was going out with this girl, and I believe she was a stripper. That's right, he worked at a strip club as a bouncer, and he was going out with this girl, and her ex-boyfriend shows up, and he was going to try to, basically shoot Scott Hall, and they get into this big scuffle, and the gun ends up going off and killing the guy, and Scott Hall, he just, for the rest of his life and his wrestling career, he was just feeling guilty about this one little incident in his life. But it's a great documentary, and I highly recommend picking this up. But some of the matches you get on here, you get some of his matches in the AWA days, where basically he almost looks like a Magnum T.I. wannabe, basically. And also you get when he was in the NWA in the mid-'80s, I'm trying to remember the name of his tag team at that time. It was American Starship, I believe it was. I believe that was the name of his tag team. Yeah, American Starship. And of course, you get the classic ladder match from WrestleMania 10. But all in all, I gotta say, if you love Scott Hall, which he's one of my personal all-time favorites, it's definitely a DVD worth picking up. But if you don't have it in your collection, you gotta go get it. And that's Living on the Razor's Edge, the Scott Hall. Alright, you guys, this next DVD, one of my favorites of the year, and that's NXT's Greatest Matches Volume 1. And if you don't know about NXT, where have you been? To me, it's one of the best things that's going on in professional wrestling right now. I mean, NXT, you can only see it on the WWE Network, but there's some really great stuff, really great talent has been coming out of NXT. I'm talking about people like Finn Balor, Big E from New Day, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley. I mean, I could keep going on and on, but it's a great 3-disc set. You get the story of how NXT came to be. NXT came out of Florida Championship Wrestling, which at the time was like a developmental company for the WWE. Basically, when I mean developmental, they're pretty much, schooling the future superstars to come. But, some of the matches on here, great stuff. You get the first ever match for the NXT Championship. You get some great matches with Finn Balor taking on Kevin Owens for the NXT title. That match, probably, I gotta say, one of my favorites off of this DVD. I believe that was Beast in the East. I think that's what it was called. They were in Japan. And, of course, the Finn Balor, Samoa Joe ended up winning the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Tournament. Really enjoyed that match. But really some great stuff on here. And also you get when Sami Zayn wins the NXT title and Kevin Owens comes out and embraces him and of course, attacks him, and really love their feud. And of course their feud goes all the way back to Ring of Honor. I mean, if you're interested in that, you can find all that here on YouTube. But all in all, NXT, one of my favorites of the year. And if you don't have it, you got to go pick up NXT's Greatest Matches, Volume 1. Alright, you guys, this next DVD is a compilation DVD of one of my all-time favorite tag teams. It's straight out of Dudleyville, The Legend of the Dudley Boys. Of course, it's a 3-disc set. You get a great documentary of the Dudley Boys. You hear the story of their early days, and basically how they became the Dudley Boys. The whole Dudley Boys thing was going on way before Bubba Ray and Devon showed up. And, they showed up in ECW, I believe it was 95, and basically, you get the story of how they rose up in the ranks at ECW, and, when they joined the WWE, and of course they had classic matchups with the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. I mean, those are, some great, phenomenal matches. But some of the matches you get on here, you get the Dudley Boys taking on the Eliminators from Barely Legal, 97, ECW's first pay-per-view. Love that stuff. I love watching old Dudley Boys matches from the ECW days. And of course, you get WrestleMania 17, Dudley Boys taking on Hardy Boys. Edge and Christian in a TLC match. That's a classic. And of course, you get some of their more recent modern matches from, I believe it was 2015. But all in all, really enjoyed this DVD set. And if you love the Dudley Boys, you got to go pick this up. But straight out of Dudleyville, The Legend of the Dudley Boys. If you don't have it, what are you doing? Alright, you guys. This DVD right here is the last DVD I'm going to be showing you, and I picked it up just a couple of days ago, and I'm currently on disc number 2, but the DVD I have, it's the Attitude Era Volume 3, unreleased. It's a 3-disc set, Basically, you're getting classic matches from the Attitude Era, matches that have never been seen before. So if you think you're going to pick this up and you're going to hear classic Attitude Era Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler doing commentary, you're not. Actually, there's no commentary on any of these matches. Some matches you get on here, you get Bret Hart teaming up with The Undertaker, taking on British Bulldog and Owen Hart in Kuwait. I want to say during this match, the lights end up going out. You get a lot of classic house shows the WWF did at that time, like at Madison Square Garden. You get a great triple threat match for the WWF belt. You get Shawn Michaels taking on Psycho Sid, taking on Bret Hart. But I didn't know this at the time during the filming of a lot of their classic pay-per-views, like In Your House. When the pay-per-view would end, they would always put like or they would always have like a one match that wasn't televised after the show. You get Shawn Michaels taking on Goldust from the In Your House Buried Alive pay-per-view. Great match, never been seen before. But I gotta say, you know, I'm enjoying watching this. Also, if you buy it, you get like this cool little book if you buy it. But I paid maybe like close to $20 for this at my local Walmart. But I mean, if you're a die-hard fan, you definitely gotta have this in your collection. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll have, you know, the complete 2016 WWE DVD set. But guys, be sure to give this video thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I'll put a link to my Twitter and Instagram below, so hey, hit me up on those sites. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you guys for leaving me, you know, comments after the recent passing of my father. Thank you guys so much for the support. But guys, I'm Jammin' Music Man. Keep watching my videos, keep subscribing, and I will see you guys next time.